Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this presentation about Upgrade Util, a tool that will make your upgrade much easier. My name is Henry. I've been working for 2 years at Odoo in the Upgrade team, working on custom projects. So on today's agenda, I will first explain to you what is Util, what is this package, why you should use it. You will see it's pretty handy. How can you use it? Also super simple to put in place and to start using. I will present you a use case using the appointment application, showing some custom developments that might have been done in the past and that are not relevant today as standard evolved. And afterwards, we'll talk about what's beyond now that this package is published. So if you have a question during the presentation, you can go on the pad which is showed at the top. So you can type the URL or scan it now. I will let you a few seconds to do it. OK, just go on pad.odoo.com/p/upgrade-util. So what is Upgrade Util? It's a package that we've used internally for a few years now, and that is used inside Upgrade script. So it does a lot of things for you that you don't have to think of during the upgrade. It also helps you keep a clean database between versions. So when you're going to remove some fields or change some fields, it will be super handy to not have useless or obsolete data in your database anymore. And it's already publicly available. So you can check it after presentation or now if you really want to discover what's inside of it. So it's another Odoo repository that can be cloned or put next to your module. So what does it help you for? It will increase the reliability of your upgrade and as well as speeding up the process. So how does it increase the reliability? It does changes that you wouldn't think of. So if you've done upgrade in the past, you always tend to forget things when changing fields or views and things like that. And Upgrade Util will do all those changes for you. You will see after, during the use case, what kind of things it's capable of. There are also functions to look for inconsistencies. And it's super easy to find indirect reference. You can use function inside of it to find them. So inside email templates, inside server actions, reference to fields that have changed or have been removed. And it will speed up the process because you can simply call a function instead of writing code, and you don't need to think of everything. So how to install it? Super easy. You can already clone the repository, as I said. And when you start Odoo, you use the CLI argument upgrade path, and you direct it to where Upgrade Util is in the source folder. And then to use it inside a migration script, also super easy. If you use the CLI argument that I just gave you, you just have to use from Odoo upgrade import util to use the function inside of it. You can install it via pip on Odoo SH, or you can put it in your requirement file so that you don't have to install it manually, and Odoo SH does things for you. So I'm going to come back on things like migration script to explain you how and when it is relevant to use. So like Upgrade Util, it makes your upgrade faster and more reliable because you avoid doing manual actions. Instead, you write code once, and then when you update your module, the migration script is run, and you don't have to think of everything again. You don't have to redo those processes. Instead, it can just be inside code. So how to position a migration script? So inside your module name, you put migrations folder. Don't forget the S, because if you don't put the S, Odoo is going to miss your script. It's not going to see it. Then after the migrations folder, you put inside a versions folder. So for example, V17, if you are upgrading to V17. And you need to specify also the phase of the migration script at the beginning of the file name. So there are three phases: pre, post, and end, which are executed at three different times during the update of a module. Pre is before changing all the fields and the data. Post is right after, and end is when all the modules have been updated, if you update multiple modules. So when does a migration script run? As I said, as at the module update, Odoo will compare the module versions inside the database in the table ER module with the version on the manifest of your module. And if it's different, if the version on the manifest is higher than the version in the ER module table, it will look for all the scripts between the two versions and run them in order. So, for example, you upgrade your module to v17, so you change the manifest version, and then on the update of the module, the script will be run if it's inside the folder migrations 17.0, and it goes up to the same version as the manifest. So so higher than the version inside the module table, our module table, and until equal to the versions inside the manifest. So here is a really basic example of how to use util, and with the function that exists and that we'll document after, and that you will be able to look for inside the repository, the remove field function. So I'm now going to go through a use case on the appointment application. So you might have seen that there came a few amount of new features in appointment application in this version, but in the past, they were lacking some features. So you might have in the past done customization for your customer, so that, for example, he's able to book a room, he's able to configure the number of participants, the room, and the person who booked the room, and also be able to manage bookings from the Gantt view. So for that, you would write a small piece of code. So you would create a new model for an appointment room with a name and capacity. So because it's a 20-minute presentation, the example here is rather short, but it's to give you an idea of what is possible with util. And you would extend the calendar event module to add a room ID, which is the room in which you do the appointment, and also the capacity. Sorry, the booker ID. Okay, so that was for the calendar event. Sorry. So now in Odoo, in Odoo 17, you can link meetings to applicants and opportunity, book a resource, and manage your booking from the Gantt view. So all the customization you made, they are not really relevant anymore. But you don't want to lose the data that you had from the past, and you want to reduce your technical debt. So how do you proceed, and how do you take advantage of Upgrade Util? Well, let me first remind you the goal of the upgrades. You want your customer to benefit from the latest features. So in this case, appointment features that have been added in Odoo 17. You want your customer to stay supported, and you want to reduce your technical debt. So new features managed by Odoo, standard features, well, that's easier for you to manage, less lines of code, less issues with the customer. So we will remove the module. So how do we proceed cleanly to remove the customization? Well, here is the differences, the things that were added, which made our module a bit redundant with what is now standard in Odoo 17. So few fields changed, and I will show you how to upgrade them easily. So for the appointment room, there is now a new standard model for resources called appointment resources. So you want to remove the appointment room, but you don't want to lose the appointment room data. So you will want to put them in appointment resource. There is the room ID field, which is now appointment resource ID field, and it's a standard field. Same thing, you want to put your data from the room ID inside the new standard appointment resource ID. And it's the same thing for the booker ID. So How do we proceed? Well, with util, there is a huge amount of function that will help you make it super easy. So first, you will create a column to temporarily store the data from appointment resources inside on the appointment resource module. So you will create a column, and for that, there is a function. You might be a bit surprised. Why would I call a function instead of just putting an SQL query to create a new column? Well, Upgrade Util does it for you, the SQL query, but it also optimizes it. So in this case, you might not have a lot of data in your appointment resource. But let's say you worked on a customization on mail messages, for example, and you have millions of records. The creation of the column might cause some issue. So with it being optimized, you don't have to think of it. You just have to put the table in which you want to create the new column and specify the type. Then you will copy your data from appointment room, your old model, to appointment resource. So you will copy all the ID, name, capacity to the new table appointment resource. And for that, you can simply use an SQL query, taking all the data from one table to the other. After that, you will merge the model. So that any reference, anything that's inside the database configured as appointment room become appointment resource. So what does the merge model function do? It's remapping all the fields, it's changing the XML IDs from the previous model to the new one. It adapts the computes, it adapts translations, and updates indirect references so that you don't lose data during your upgrade. After merging the model, you want to copy the module, the data from on the calendar event to make the new field equal to the older field. So you will take all the data from room ID to appointment room ID, and all the data from booker ID to appointment booker ID. Then we will work on updating the fields. So for that, we'll call a function called update field usage. So this function takes the model as an argument, then the old field name and the new field name. And what this function does is it also updates all the filters, the export lines, the server actions, the mail aliases, dashboards, etc. for you, so that you don't have to think of that when you do the upgrade. So for example, your customer, he liked your customization, but he wanted to use Studio and add a few more bits, like he want it to be. Well, you don't have to think of updating those because Util does change those references, like in a related field he created. It's changed automatically with that function. So once you've updated the field usage, you want to remove the field. So same thing, the remove field will remove the field from everywhere you can find it in the database. The dashboards, the filters, the domains, dependencies, the many tables that have been created for this field, translation, and attachments if there are attachments. And then at the end, you will remove, after copying the data, you can remove the temporary column that you have created. So what's beyond now? Now that the module is public, this means that you can contribute to it, you can raise issues so that Odoo or the community work on fixing them. And it's available to everyone, and it's going to make your upgrade so much easier. Thank you for listening. Thank you to Augusto and Isvan who helped me prepare the slide, and Christophe who reviewed them. Thanks a lot. So if you have questions, scan the pad, scan the QR code, or go directly to the pad URL.
Hello.
Hello.
So there is already some questions. So the first one, can I upgrade by step? Only a couple of modules first, and then months later, over module, over applications? What could be the problems in that case?
Well, in that case, you might have some compatibility issues. So if you have some module adapted to the new version and not not others, and that the others are still working in the old version and not the new one, it might not be compatible with the new version. So you might have issues. Well, just like if you didn't upgrade any of the module because they are not adapted, so they are not made to be working in the new version.
So the best is really not to do that.
Yeah, the best is really to upgrade all your modules at once, because otherwise you're going to have some compatibility issues.
Okay, thanks. Compared to Open Upgrade project from Odoo Community Association, what are the disadvantages?
It's not really the same here. It's really there are no scripts. It's really function that you can use in scripts. It's tools. It's not something that will upgrade your database. It's something that you can use to simplify your upgrade, but it doesn't run the upgrade.
Okay. This new script is available for other version of Odoo, like for V11, V10. Could we upgrade from V version 10 to directly 17, or?
So this version is compatible with any version of Odoo. It is not made for the latest version only. It's really a package. You can see that as a pip package. So, for example, there have been changes in translation in the way they work in V16, but that module doesn't really care about that. He works for the two versions of translations.
Okay. If we remove a field from a module, should we update the code or only use the remove field function will be enough?
No, you have to update you have to also change the code. If you don't remove it from the code, if the module is installed in the database, it's still gonna be there. And every time you will update the module or start the database, the module will be present. So it has to be removed from the code, and then inside the migration script, you remove the field.
Okay. When the upgrade script to the 17 will be available?
That's a tough question. We don't know. We have some targets in terms of time, but we don't know exactly when it's going to be ready, because it requires a lot of testing, and we don't want to release it right now as now not ready.
Yes, first Odoo, and then the customers.
Yes, exactly. Once you will see that the Odoo database has been upgraded, it will come soon for you.
Okay, how it works when on-premise upgrade the PostgreSQL server version? What are the steps? Upgrade the database first, then the Odoo version?
I'm not sure I'm able to answer that question. This is not something that I've worked on, so I prefer not to answer it.
Okay, don't worry.
But you can come afterwards with that question. We'll have a few people from the upgrade team that will be able to answer that question.
So don't hesitate to come if you want to have this answer. What is the role of the upgrade folder in the source code? If we have to specify the upgrade path in the command line arguments?
I'm not sure I quite got the question. So the migrations folder is for the scripts, and the upgrade path that you have to specify, it's where you have put the tool. So it doesn't have to be the tool don't have to be inside the module specifically. They just need to be in the same. They just have to be where it's specified in the path. They don't have to be in the migrations folder. The migrations folder is really for the migration scripts only.
Okay. Does this automatically works in Odoo community, or does it compare with Open Upgrade of Odoo?
I think we answered that question previously about.
Perhaps. Yes.
Yeah, it's about the same as the first one.
Okay. Is there a function to move from ER translation to Gibson translation?
You can look for that in the module. I think it exists. We can have a look now. So here I'm inside the repository of that's now public and that you can go on. So we can check inside of this. There is a few files. You can look for translations. So yeah, I think that's most of the function inside of util that change field also update the translation. so you don't have to do it by yourself. I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you plan to register or share some video tutorials to explain how it works?
Yes, we are planning that, but it's really still in planning. Like we don't really have an idea. We would like to have a smart class on Upgrade also available for partners, but this is something that's we are working on the documentation right now to improve it and make it available as soon as possible for everyone. But regarding the smart class or videos, it's gonna come after the documentation.
Okay. In your example, the purpose was to remove the module because standard feature will replace it, but still you plan to update it to apply migration script. Why?
Because all the changes you make, they need to be propagated inside the database. So as I said, sometimes there are studio fields or any kind of mail templates that have been change, so you have to adapt those. If one of the fields that you remove was used inside a mail template, for example, the mail template is going to be broken. But if you use the function to remove the field properly, the mail template is going to be updated and you won't have that issue.
Okay. I think, and last one, what are the differences with Open Upgrade Library from Odoo Community Association? It is not the same question, but Open Upgrade. The person is still writing now, but don't know if you see.
I would have to check since we've used Util internally at Odoo Upgrade Util. I'm not really sure about what's inside the OCA module.
So yes, don't hesitate if you have some question to directly see with Henri.
Come afterwards. We'll have other person from the R&D upgrade team and from the upgrade project team. So don't hesitate. I will be right outside afterwards.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the presentation.